It seems there's an even bigger backlash about royal residences and associated buildings. But what is that and why? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London as ever. Thank you so much for joining me today. This particular story, I don't know if you've seen elements of it in your local media, you may have done, but it all truly centres on that really strange TV series that is, of course, part of Harry and Meghan's payday deal, paymasters, whichever way you want to call it. We're talking, of course, about the streaming giant Netflix. Now, as you know, Netflix itself have decided now to make season 5 of The Crown, which apparently comes on screen. They use that term, don't they, when it drops. I always find that strange, don't you? You know, I like the word series or returning serial or something like that. Of course, you know, you've got to get down with the kids. But apparently it does release next spring, I think it is. Stars this time Imelda Staunton as Our Glorious Majesty the Queen, alongside other people which, you know, when you think about it, should know better. But I'm guessing as an actor during the pandemic, they need some money. And of course, they're able to, with their very deep pockets, offer such huge salaries to these actors that normally would have turned their nose up at such a thing as a soap opera. But of course, it just proves, doesn't it, if you have the money, you truly can buy anyone. I often thought that Imelda Staunton wouldn't, of course, gone down this particular route, but it appears that that mega deal has changed her mind. And let's not forget, of course, she's married to the actor that plays Carson in Downton Abbey. Don't know if you're aware of that. So they're incredibly rich and powerful as a couple. But of course, it's this particular story around about Eton College, which is not too far away from the glorious Windsor Castle. Now, Eton, as you know, is one of those public schools that really does turn out some fine minds, including, of course, His Royal Highness Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge. Now, the Crown, or the makers of the Crown, decided, of course, to contact the college because it's at that particular era where they wanted to sort of replicate that story when William went to Eton, alongside, of course, his father, His Royal Highness Prince Charles, and, of course, his late mother, Princess Diana. Now, thankfully for Eton, they decided to decline. Now, there's a bigger picture in that, really, and as ever, we often can tell you the true story. Yes, they would have been offered a mega deal, but they know that their people, shall we say, the people that pay their expenses, it would have been a huge backlash for Eton because they would have deemed, certain people at least who go to the college and their parents, their privacy would have been infringed. It simply wouldn't have worked in their favour. Would have been madness for them to consider this. But of course, they've turned it back on them, saying that they turned it down. One company that didn't turn the use of their footage down, of course, was none other than our glorious BBC. They allowed the exterior of BBC Broadcasting House to be used for filming, let's not forget that. And of course, other parts of historical London too have seemingly turned down the opportunity for the Crown to use their exteriors. It's not difficult to replicate these things though, and I often wonder as well whether the Crown and Netflix know that they'll get massive PR by having it turned down. It must be truly embarrassing for Harry and Meghan if they have an ounce of, you know, sort of credibility, if you like, to think, well, they're basically using my family to make this drama, which is about my life, if you like, inside my life, when apparently they crave such publicity. But once you sign on the dotted line for this sort of situation, you are truly trapped. Unless, of course, you do the gracious thing and deliver the money back. Do we see that happening? I don't think so. Neil Sean in the heart of London.